My name's Wayne Lonstein. I'm here to talk about something that should have been done about a week ago. You know, September 18th, that was National Talk Like a Pirate Day, and we're going to talk about piracy today. And then I thought about it and I said, well, it's also about the clicks, because I want to tell you that everything that drives piracy relates to the clicks. So as we sit here today, we'll discuss in the next 10 minutes what the clicks mean and how it affects piracy. So when I talk about something called nanopiracy. Nanopiracy, simply put, is using a cellular phone, tablet, or other connected device, using a social media application. Of course, the first one was Periscope, then it was Meerkat, and then Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and so many others have followed into the sphere. And one person can stream from peer to peer. I can share with you my video, or I can share instantly with 1 million people. And in fact, we've documented at VFT Solutions a particular stream of Beyonce in concert going from one stream on a phone inside a concert hall to 1 million viewers within 1 minute. It's very powerful technology, and that power comes from, as you can see on the map, it is tethered, social media video, to the social media itself. So if I'm using Periscope, it's tethered to Twitter, and all my followers go bang, we're live now. So that's the essence of a nanopiracy network. That which can be used for good, technology, taken to a gray area, which is somewhere where we're sharing content, whether it's sports, movies, concerts, live, recorded. It's all available. It's up there 24/7, and we'll get into the big numbers, and my goodness, they are big. So, as we go forward today, and let me try that click, the latest example of nanopiracy and what we predicted to be the tsunami was the Mayweather-McGregor fight last month. Now, at VFT Solutions, we built our technology on focusing on the consumption side, on the viewer, because the allure, the popularity, and in fact, the compelling nature of social media is its instant tethering, group mentality, and it's got the chat function. So the industry was looking for a second screen where we could engage fans for years and years. But in actuality, social media had it built in, so some of the most compelling chat stories are on these social media platforms. We go and we did intelligence. So we knew the buzz at VFT about Mayweather-McGregor. We knew people were saying we're not going to pay $100 for a pay-per-view fight where somebody may take a leg, take a knee, bite somebody's ear off, or some other sort of hysterical sort of operation. And so the consumer was saying, I don't want to risk my wallet on something I'm not sure about. And as you can see, the talk points are all, are you going to share it? Will you stream it? Can I watch it? And people were making their own little cable systems, their own little MSOs. Well, we predicted 100 million views. We thought that was very, very doable based upon the numbers we had recorded. The realities, well, we'll get to them if we can get the next slide. The realities were 131 million views of the contest throughout the globe. And our period of time, which we monitor for what we call nanopiracy, is the 24-hour window from the live broadcast to the repeat broadcast. Why? Because not everybody in the world's awake when the live action is happening in Las Vegas at 10 o'clock at night. So we know that people waking up in the next morning would be more than happy to see whatever the broadcast was in high definition very quickly and very smartly, and that's what happened. 131 million on just under 7,000 documented streams. We were able to identify the viewers, the streamers, and when you talk about 131 million people, you're talking about something that cannot be controlled. So one of the big takeaway messages I want to share with everybody today is, yes, there is piracy. It's streaming piracy. We call it nanopiracy. But I want you to see it as an opportunity as well. It could be perhaps best termed as an alt form of viewing. People are fighting skinny bundles, any credit card payments. So the creative sports rights owner, the creative distributor is going to say, how can I best get to that consumer in one click? Because every click that you make somebody do, you are losing eyeballs. The realities of the fight were 131 million people viewed it. The problem is that they didn't view it for the applicable $100 charge. So what happened? There was a big loss. We see that as an opportunity. The potential loss on Mayweather-McGregor was $13 billion. The potential loss is, in our mind, that opportunity. I'm showing you now just one stream on an Indonesian company being restreamed on YouTube Live called TV1. It looks legitimate. So if I'm the viewer, I'm saying, wow, I'm getting Mayweather-McGregor for free. The problem is 15.7 million people watched that one stream, and the stream lasted 47 odd minutes. 47 odd minutes was the entire main event of the fight in one powerful stream. And when you talk about issues such as DMCA notices, content protection, content ID, they're all great. But when you're dealing with live sports, any latency in dealing with piracy is death. It just simply is. And this absolutely nanopiracy speaks to it. So what we did is we started to build in possibilities of what we could do, how we can deal with it, because we knew that the stats told us 13 billion is the opportunity, 131 million is the marketplace just for this one event. And oh, by the way, the amount of view time was 58,500 centuries just for that one fight. I mean, it's just greater than time. And as a general matter, VFT records viewers of proprietary content. We've done 215,000 recorded streams, and we're now approaching our 4 billionth identified viewer. What does that mean? Well, a big challenge. You know, you can identify them, and, you know, that number is massive. How many streams are out there? How are we going to stop them all? The truth is, when we put the power back in the phone, there's no way to stop it. When you go to a concert, you go to the concert expecting to stay in touch with your family, your friends, your kids, your spouse, your friends, your partners, and you don't want to be told you can't have your phone. I remember going to a concert, a Don Henley concert last year, who I love, and they told me you have to put your phone away. You cannot have it in your hands. You can't ruin the fan experience. You can't attack the fan. You have to be able to give them what you want, or they are going to do what they want. The phone, the device, has become the great equalizer, much akin to the Apple iTunes. The Apple iTunes model is, hey, I don't want to buy, I'm going to date myself, I don't want to buy the album, or I don't want to buy the CD. I just want the song. I don't want to pay $20, I want to pay $2.99. Everybody said it couldn't work. We know where we are now. And the popularity of this is becoming the reality of that, almost 4 million globally. So the question then becomes what to do. Well, the good news is we see it as opportunity. We see it as something that can change and is changing and is a tide that will not go away. So we better be prepared to exploit that opportunity. We better be able to market, to redirect, and to create and use it as a platform to build new platforms. And maybe concepts like a presenting sponsor, one presenting sponsor for free content is the way the market's going to go. At VFT, we have some novel ideas. We get right in that chat stream, so we can talk to the viewers or the streamers or everybody, and we can tell them, hey, you probably don't know, because we see about 45 to 60% of people who use live streaming apps don't know it's illegal because there's so much of it out there. How could it be illegal? How could it be piracy? It's not their fault. At some point they say, well, geez, it's there. I didn't do anything wrong and nobody's telling me it's wrong. And in fact, the social media companies like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, why wouldn't they, do their best to keep eyeballs? That's what they want. So we can inject messages. We can tell people things. We can destroy the concept of anonymity. So we can have a message, and I can say, for example, Rick Lane from the Chamber, who is here today and we'll be talking later, I can say, hey, Rick, why would Rick at the Chamber be watching the Mayweather-McGregor fight illegally? Rick's not going to laterally migrate if that stream goes down to another stream. Rick's going to not watch again, and he's going to buy on pay-per-view the next time. So there's a lot of possibilities, and we think a friendly business model will greatly aid the development of smaller sports, large sports, movies, and entertainment going forward. So what we can do is we can send messages to the entire audience, the streamer, say, hey, Mr. Streamer, oh, by the way, we know where your house is because our technology allows us to get right in there, because if you don't have your phone on private, put it on private about location services. That allows companies like mine to find out exactly where you're streaming from. So use your privacy settings. We can also send out, as I said to Rick, the individual message. Say, hey, Rick, you shouldn't be watching this. But you can get it here, and we should be advising content owners and distributors, you better meet that price point. You better not bundle it, because this is power and the market's demanding it. New products. You heard from NFL in Europe. You heard George Pine talking about it today. That's a great product. I bet a lot of people in the US would want it. The problem with it is that I can take my phone with my European subscription and stream it to all my friends, either on a public stream or in the most insidious and sinister way, what they call a private stream. A private stream it's marked private on Periscope or the other apps. The only people who know about it are the people in your network, and people are making private cable networks using this technology in high def. And oh, by the way, on McGregor, private cable streams were over 20,000 viewers at least, on other applications as well. And finally, we need to think about pricing. You know, technology makes everything cheaper, and delivery is certainly cheaper. We can deliver products and programming, and anybody can be a broadcaster. So some of the pricing models may have to change. That's a difficult reality, but if you look at it from the iTunes perspective and use that as your model, 1 million people paying $2.99 is probably better than 1,000 people paying $100, at least in my mind. So we think that, as we go forward, the click is important. Every click you make people go through, every bit of data you make them give you, is a loss of opportunity, especially in the world of nanopiracy. So that's what I think the future looks like, and it's fascinating, and it holds opportunity. And it's not just piracy, it's alt viewing, and I thank you all very much for your time today, and I'll be free to talk to you if you want any questions. Thanks again, appreciate it.